into the painting. Spent $1,000 or whatever you want into the painting. You're now part owner of the LLC that is this painting. It's $2 million. It's ridiculous. An $8 million painting available right now too. And then some of the $500,000. But it doesn't matter. You put whatever tiny amount of money you want to put in compared to the $8 million. And you're a part owner now. So then when they sell it to some billionaire a year or two down the road, whatever, you get your percentage profit back. Then you give some to Masterworks because they did all the work. And now everyone's making money off of these millionaires and billionaires buying art. Text the word Slater to 200-300. You get a text back saying hello and how you can learn more. Text and privacy policy terms and conditions posted at textman.us. Texting will also reoccur automated text marketing messages. Message data may apply. Reply stop, top, top. Pass sales not This advertising list provision of advisory services by Masterworks Advisors LLC. Not intended to offer assisted investment securities. Masterworks Advisors affiliate of Masterworks. Text the word Slater to 200-300.
From the Global News Network of Breitbart.com, this is Breitbart News Daily with your host, Mike Slater.
Okay, well, let's right a wrong here, shall we? One of the senators in Montana is a Democrat, Jon Tester. Tim Sheehy is running against him as a Republican. He's with us now. Tim, how you doing, brother?
Doing great, Mike. How are you?
Good. Give us the background on how a Democrat won in Montana. What's the history of this, and how can we right this problem?
Well, I appreciate you asking because I get this question a lot. A lot of people think Montana, we're a big square western state, so we just must be deep red like everything else. And although we are largely deep red now, our history is more complicated. The political history of Montana really is pretty purple.
Morning, someone.
Blue. And for about a century, almost all the 20th century, Montana was a blue state. We had two Democrat senators for almost a century unbroken. We had a very progressive union labor movement here in the state that created a very strong Democrat Party machine. Mike Mansfield was one of the longest-serving Senate Majority Leaders until Mitch McConnell just overtook him, and he was a Democrat from Montana. And just 9 years ago, 7 of 8 statewide seats in Montana elected offices were held by Democrats, just 9 years ago. And today, we've added another congressional seat. 8 of 9 are held by Republicans. So, to your point, he's a holdover from the bygone era, and some of those previous generation Democrats were, in fact, the union, blue dog, lunch bucket Democrats who were focused on the working man. But Jon Tester has really been on the progressive wing of the party, but the media and his campaign managers and he himself have been masterful for the last 30 years. He's been in elected office for 30 years at the state level and federal level.
Those brake lights
They're masterful at branding him as a moderate, a common sense Democrat who, he's a Bible pumping, gun toting, border security Democrat. The simple truth is he doesn't vote that way. He has voted for the Biden-Harris agenda every single time it's mattered. F from the NRA, 100% Planned Parenthood voting records. He's as progressive as they come, and now finally we're going to put him away.
Well, I'm watching a commercial of him, and here he is driving an old pickup truck with a gun in the gun rack, and he's wearing a flannel shirt. So,
classic Jon Tester. I mean, he's full-on progressive socialist voter. I mean, he votes with Elizabeth Warren. He votes with Bernie Sanders. He votes in lockstep with the Biden. Trump's on the ballot. Pro-gun, pro-border, Democrat. They don't really exist anymore. And those folks, like West Virginia, are now voting loyally for the Trump ballot. And it's not because they became Republicans. It's because the Democrat Party left them. They abandoned them. And that's exactly what's happened in Montana.
So
but the branding exercise, which has worked, is going to be a lot tougher this time because Trump's on the ballot. So.
Last question on Jon Tester, and then we'll talk about you. What's his motivation then? So, is he...
Hey, Michael.
Does he really believe in open borders? And, we were just talking to our Second Amendment guy about, gun buyback programs, and all these, leftist stuff. Does he really believe that stuff, or does he just go there and vote whatever he needs to do in order to stay in power because he likes being a senator? What do you think his motivation is?
I've only met the guy once at our debate, so I'm not going to do some sort of psychoanalysis on him because I simply don't know. But I will tell you, I know exactly how he votes. I know exactly the policies he supports, to Inflation Reduction Act, to 100% Planned Parenthood, to F from the NRA. He is in lockstep with the Biden-Harris agenda and has been his entire career.
Tell me about your company.
Well, I was a Navy SEAL officer, as you know. My wife's a Marine. We served during our our nation's longest war.
Not that I know of.
Discharge.
I think it's
And we
supposed to
started our
happen
company
soon.
In our barn here, a startup, about 2 of us in the barn, all veteran founded. And the mission was to bring the airborne surveillance and the close air support capability that we benefited from as SEALs.
Pretty sure it's going to be Shapiro.
Apply that same model to wildland firefighting.
She needs to try and take
unlike
Pennsylvania,
Arizona,
but most of Pennsylvania is not happy with Shapiro, so.
Fighting that fire, and I realized our technology could have helped ameliorate that situation, potentially save those lives had it been there. So we started my company, Bridger.
Yeah, I finally I'm using an app that actually lets me do that.
The Bridger
Like,
Mountains are the mountains right next to our airport. And I'm proud to say from founding in our barn, we've created over 400 jobs from scratch in the last 9.5 years. We spun out a couple of companies, a technology company, a flight training company, aviation logistics company. And to this day, Bridger Aerospace is able to fight wildfires all over the world. And obviously, as you've seen in the news, we've been very busy lately. So it's a great mission. We water bomb fires. We've mapped them with infrared. And it's been a great success story with an all-veteran founding management team. And I'm proud of that.
Good
And,
Morgan. Hey, I will be heading to PA pretty soon.
Because small
I
business
just hired a new provider out in Pittsburgh, so I got to order a laptop and whatnot for them. Hey, Killer Smile, how you doing?
And you did a pretty good job of that.
Welcome.
That's pretty smart. That's sharp. What is the technology that what capabilities do you bring to fighting these fires? And I want to bridge this into some environmental questions as well. But what did you bring that didn't exist before in that space?
Well, a few things, and a lot of this, has existed before, and this is kind of the same story with the military. A lot of
This is
times
my
you'll
backup
find
channel.
people sitting around.
The main one's
and they
Indoctrination
present
Live.
on the tool bench, and a lot of times those tools will be sitting.
Kind of variety channel. This one is mostly just driving. The other one's kind of a variety channel. Little cop watching, little rebroadcast, little listening to Scanner and discussion, political stuff and whatnot. Little poker.
And then share that information through apps and real-time downlink technology so these firefighters would have better awareness of what's going on around them. Wow. So that's one technology that Bridger's embedded. And then water bombers. Just literally just bomb those fires into submission. We have the largest
Mostly,
fleet of water bombers that is privately owned in the world. And we operate those worldwide, and those just come in and they just beat the hell out of the fire once it's reported.
Mostly 1A supporters.
Let's expand
Controls.
that to environmental policy. I think it's pretty obvious now that the environmentalists have really screwed up forest management. I think most people are on board with that. But just in general, how are conservatives the true environmentalists?
Well, thank you.
I don't think she's got that vote anyway, so
Circles run around us every time because
I don't think they plan on legitimately winning.
brand Republicans as this kind of, they're going to sell off.
I gotta get some gas.
They're gonna block
A
them
cup of
off.
coffee. I'll be right back.
We're anti-public land.
Yeah.
Couldn't be further from the truth as you just pointed out, because the actual party that really actually wants to take away public lands and frankly has been taking them away is the Democrats, because they have taken the publicly owned lands in the United States away from the public and they've placed them into the hands of bureaucrats thousands of miles away and radical environmentalist groups who have infiltrated these bureaucracies, some of them international groups, and they are deciding what's happening in our forests, on our public grazing lands, and they are passing policies with no input from the local population, with no input from the neighboring communities, and with no regard for the economic, social, and environmental impact their policies have, like wildfires. And what I've advocated for extremely vocally, and still to this day, and this is why John Test is attacking me on public lands every day on the air, is because I'm trying to expose the fraud that bureaucrats and environmentalists have hijacked our public lands, and we, the public, no longer have a voice in how those lands are managed. And I believe that if you live in a local community, especially in the Western United States, you should have more say in what happens in those public lands that neighbor your community than bureaucrats or environmentalists thousands of miles away. And the Republican Party is advocating for that.
I didn't know Tester was attacking you on this. I just randomly asked you that question. So what is he saying? What is he saying you want to do with these public lands? / what do you want to do with public land?
Well, his narrative, which is the same for every Democrat candidate in Montana, they always roll out the same old trope that, look, your Republican opponent, this guy's going to sell off your public lands, which is
to like developers or something like Like to like some housing developments, or what are they? What's the fear?
Who knows? They know it's a lie. It's just a line of attack that works because we have very dedicated outdoorsmen. So they come out and just say Republicans are going to sell off your public lands, so they're going to restrict access to your public lands, like fence them off and not let you in. First of all, that's unconstitutional. Second of all, no one has actually ever done that. But they know it's a line of attack that will take typically conservative voters who would vote Republican, hunters and backcountry adventurers. Say, you know what? Well, boy, I would vote for this guy, but he's going to block my access to public land, so I'm going to vote for the other guy. There's no truth to it, but they know it's an attack line that works. And as we know, the Democrats don't really care about truth anyways. They just care about winning elections.
What do you want to do with the public land?
Public land must always stay public, but it should be actually in the hands of the public, which means our communities, the local communities, should have say in how those public lands are managed. Because in states like Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Nevada, we'll have local communities that are surrounded by public lands, whether it's national forest or Bureau of Land Management grazing lands or national parks, you name it. And those people live amongst those communities. Like I share a fence line. Right now I'm on my farm looking outside. I share a fence line with public land. I have no control over what happens on that public land beyond, Mother, may I please, I have a huge amount of fuel loading. Can I go clear out that forest? Can I go spray weeds? And we're not allowed to have any control over that land, which is unfair to the local community because the bureaucrats thousands of miles away have.
Exactly. Because that's the principle. Because bureaucrats in D.C. are the ones who are controlling your public land in Montana. That's crazy. Exactly. Tim Sheehy, I think we got to run. Let's do it again. He's running for U.S. Senate Montana. Let's just knock this one out and be done with this one. What's the website? How can people help you?
I appreciate that. TimForMT.com. We got a rally coming up Friday here in Bozeman. President Trump's coming to town to come for us because this is a huge race. He knows this race will determine control of the Senate. This race will get the Senate. TimForMT.com.
All right, coffee. Coffee.
Cornell, Tim Sheehy, we'll do it again. Thanks, brother. I'm great. Laura Trump, next. Much later. Good work.
Maple donuts? No, we got a chocolate and a strawberry cheesecake pie. Breakfast pie. Or whatever, snack pie. Pie. I got the wife birthday cake one because they're rare. I ain't seen that one before.
I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20
She'll like it. She loves everything birthday cake.
Life insurance policies from seniors. And at abacuslife.com, we've created a free policy value calculator so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value for your life insurance when you...
Oh, is that your Bernie?
Learn more at abacusjays.com.
It's your Bernie?
Americans love using their credit cards. The most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But DC politicians want to change that with the Dirty
Looks like an Oreo.
Credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp.
I actually had enough people in the Rumble stream yesterday to. Let me get all over. Okay. To run a couple or do a couple ad reads. I like how the studio, at least the desktop version of the studio, will allow you to stay live with the other channels, but put that little green filter over it, directing you where to go. I don't want to completely kill my main YouTube channel, but I want to have a solid backup. So I'll have to talk to the wife. I don't know. I haven't even proposed it to her yet. You got her number? Or you know how to message her? Yeah, I had one of my cats eating French fries and lettuce last night. What the fuck was that? I mean, he was attacking me for my burger, but he got lettuce and French fry. know a lot of people they're not sure about Rumble, but man, that's the only place that there's actual free speech. You see, Matt caught us. Had a takedown yesterday. They took down one of his videos. He actually won the appeal, though. He sent me a picture of it this morning. As the election gets closer, it's going to get worse and worse on YouTube as far as restrictions. Yeah, Matt R. Yeah, he sent me a picture of, I don't know if it was a strike or whatnot, but it was that they had taken one of his videos down. Then he appealed it. Told him what to write in his appeal, and then he sent me a picture this morning saying that he had won the appeal. I said, enjoy it, because it's rare that you win appeals. No one won on the only strike I've gotten on this channel here. I won, but which is crazy because I talk just as much shit on this channel as I do as the other one. But they took down Crowder for a week. YouTube just took down Crowder for a week over a picture of Kamala. And he's on probation until like the end of October. So they're going to run that right close to October and then drop another strike on him so he can't broadcast during the election.
Leaders for this country, choosing people who are going to make life better for Americans. They want to win 270 electoral votes so that they can retain power.
I don't know if I helped him out. I just there's certain things you got to say because hey Midwest, there's a lot of the
Kamala Harris and her running mate are going to come out together this evening. However, if you look back at the history, whenever a
driving?
running mate announcement has been made, the state in which the announcement is made has
I
never
didn't even look on YouTube this morning yet.
the running mate. So I don't know, maybe there's some trickery going on here. Not that
How wild that the knock against Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, is that he's Jewish. And like that could be a big problem for the Democratic Party. Like, whoa! Isn't that wild?
where are we in this country? It's crazy. And to make him come out and basically apologize for his pro-Israel views, I hope that people are paying attention to what's going on right now. You know, it wasn't that many days ago that we saw this crazy situation in Washington, D.C., where all of these monuments were desecrated, where you had a lot of pro-Hamas insignia put on you know, these federal buildings and these monuments around D.C., the American flag gets reacted with just the mere idea that it could be Kamala Harris, who's at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue acting as our president. You know, we saw that 1,000-point drop yesterday. That was really kind of wild stuff and crazy stuff. But it is reflective of the sentiment in this country right now. And everything.
What do you think the market's going to do today?
Destabilized and really headed in the
Down 500 Friday, down 1,000 yesterday.
Is the knock against a potential running mate for president that is Jewish. I can't even fathom where we've come in this country.
On your road to 270, that could not be used as an attack against Trump and JD. It's not like we need a JD in Ohio. That's not it. It just is the best person for the job. What do you think of this?
Too hot to cop watch. Yeah, I heard it was like 110. You said.
The Trump campaign. You guys, you don't have your act together. You didn't know how to respond. You don't know how to attack Kamala. You let her have 2 weeks on her own to rebrand herself, and you weren't prepared, and you're on the defense now. What's going on?
Well, we've been prepared for this for several months, let's be really honest. But I think what people have noticed and what has been abundantly clear,
Yeah, he seems pretty cool.
is that you have the machine now behind Kamala Harris. That machine shut down sometime around June 27th.
Okay, so she's going to have this new guy in the office August 22nd. So, if not this weekend, next weekend, maybe. Or dirty.
Allow him to get ousted and this coup to happen to essentially move him from running for president to saying, oh, in the span of, I believe it was 40 hours, Joe Biden saying, I'm never dropping out, it'll take an act of God to get me out, to the ex-host that, of course, said, like, you know what, this isn't the right time for me anymore. I'm going to pass the torch on to Kamala Harris. So, yeah, that machine has ramped back up, and there is this effort.
Oh, they've been tight for a while. Yeah.
Can I jump in, Laura? I apologize. CNN is now.
Yeah, not this weekend, but probably next weekend, 17th or 18th.
Governor Tim.
That's what I'm thinking. Because she's got to have the equipment by the 22nd. That's when he's going to start training.
Obviously, and it's a state that is very much in play for Donald Trump. You may have noticed we added Minnesota to our map in the battleground states, which we had not previously had. We added Minnesota, we added Virginia not too long ago, because Donald Trump was polling so well in that state. It is a state that Kamala Harris would need to win in order to become the next president. They would really like to win Minnesota. And look, I think that you actually look at the fact that Walt has been incredibly progressive in his views. He's been extremely, you're going to have two extremes.
Blind Man Travels gives you their points. It's like you're doing all right. Solid first place there, but
to do it in Josh Reel's like to shove it in his face by announcing the other guy. That's pretty well. We actually randomly talked to Congressman Emmer from Minnesota, Majority Whip, and he went off.
he's got to go and try and pass in the no lane to the left here.
Folksy Midwesty kind of
You
thing.
can already tell he's one of those. I'm gonna get out of his way.
But he has that. They think he has that like vibe that he can go toe to toe with JD and kind of neutralize that. But Emmer's like, no. This guy is wacky as they come with all of this stuff. Abortion, violence.
Scissors are picking up ahead.
Yeah, and actually, I will be in Minnesota this Thursday. We're doing
Throw it up on your
something that we are
Telegram.
focused on from the RNC, which is making sure we have free, fair, and transparent elections. I think it is vital to the future of this country. So I'll be in Minnesota.
That steak looked delicious, I'll tell you that.
This week, so let's see what the folks in Minnesota.
I don't see no cop here. Scissors a piggy up here.
It really is kind of.
He must have
shocking
moved already.
what we've seen as much transpire. I was joking with the person who answered the phone.
Yep, there he is. He moved up ahead a little farther.
There's so much to talk about, and things change so rapidly.
He's gonna get the bam.
I think there is an effort to kind of give people a little bit of whiplash.
Bam,
Like,
blam.
you don't know where to look. You don't know how to focus.
Bam.
And so you're not going to be able to focus on who these people really are.
Nope. There's a bunch of them along here. There's another one up here. Ooh, he's hot.
But Walt's for exactly who
I
he
ain't
is
listening
as
to him,
well.
but he's hauling
And I
ass.
think the American people are going to be terrified with the prospect of these two
Harrisburg.
running the show at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. We've got to keep them out of there.
All right, 30 seconds. So what is most of your aim at? Is most of your focus on
me check it.
Walz, Kamala, or the Democratic Party when you're attacking? Like, do you go after Walz's record, or is he just the VP and doesn't really matter?
Well, I think it all matters. I think you have to go after both of their records. I mean, look at Kamala Harris, abysmal record, has nothing to show for.
Oh, some chillaxing going on there.
Like as the borders are.
He's
I
out.
don't want us to talk about that. You have to go after Walton, as you point out. His
belly's competing with mine.
On things. That is frightening to the American people, and this is a party who has shown you can't trust them, the Democrats. I don't know how a single self-respecting American can vote for a party that has consistently lied to them. We got to expose them all and attack them all for the things that they have actually done. And unfortunately for them, unfortunately for us, they have made that very.
Mine's well earned through the beers.
And who they are straight to the American people.
Laura Trump, she's the co-chair of the Republican National Committee. We got to go, but what's the website?
The website is protectthevote.com, GOP.com, or DonaldJTrump.com. I know
And another cop up
Thank you,
here.
ma'am. Have a great day.
Thank you.
4 of them.
Lots- well,
Last
there's breaking news.
2
There you go.
miles.
Pretty wild that the obvious pick was Josh Shapiro.
This could be the one that was just chasing somebody.
That's so crazy. In the Democratic Party, you couldn't pick the Jewish guy. That's wild. Well, lots more on Walz to come. I'm excited. Reverend Zero's report.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, when you could spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how spells FAST, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a
Favorite F word.
from the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just at ZipRecruiter.com/news. Finally, at ZipRecruiter.com/news.
What are the richest people in the world buying? They're not just buying, boring old mega yacht. They also are spending, they have spent $2.1 trillion tucked away in collectibles and fine art. How do we get into that? Even just a little bit, I'll take the crumbs. Masterworks. So they buy $1 million paintings. You put some money into the painting. You're now part owner in the LLC that is the painting. They then sell them to another billionaire. You get your profit back. Give Masterworks the hedge fund fee, and everyone's making money. To learn more, text Slater to 200-300. Just text Slater to 200-300 to learn more. Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textmoney.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Messages and data rates may apply. Just reply stop to opt out. This advertisement relates to the provision of advisory services by Masterworks Advisors LLC. Not intended to offer solicited investment in securities. Masterworks Advisors affiliated with Masterworks. Just text
That'll do it.
200-300.
Tell you, I ate garbage last night, and I felt like crap this morning over it. I gotta stop eating that shit, man. Back to my good diet I was eating for a while. Felt a whole lot better. I mean, the AG1 helps, but
Democratic presidential nominee has chosen Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate.
there you go.
Hoping to give the ticket a boost in the Midwest. Later today in
Tim Walz.
Philadelphia, Harris is to appear with her running mate. The ticket will then embark on a
She picked Walsh,
multi-state tour,
governor of Wisconsin.
visiting various battleground states. Blamed for 4 deaths in Florida and 1 in Georgia. Former Hurricane Debbie, now a tropical storm, dumping flooding rains on coastal Georgia as well as South Carolina.
I don't even know nothing about him. Oh, the quartering's going to have a lot to say about it. He's from Wisconsin.
Rainfall totals as high as 30 inches. They occur.
Probably listen to a little bit of the quarter pounder today, his rant about it.
Lead to catastrophic flooding across parts of southeastern Georgia, the eastern half of South Carolina, and southeastern North Carolina through Friday.
The National Hurricane Center
exit better be open.
roughly 154,000 utility customers without power
Right
this
after
morning
the exit.
across Florida, Georgia, South Carolina. Allegations of fraud and
Take Shapiro. Oh, they can't take a Jew because then they lose all their Palestinian people, the pro Hamas people.
Immigrant sponsorship program. It's called the Pearl Program, and it was set up a couple of years ago and encouraged people to fly into the U.S. instead of crossing the border. Yeah, sponsors agree.
Should you? I think you should. I don't know what content you're going to add to that, but I think it'd be kind of cool. I'm surprised. Did you do any recording? You said you were there. Did you do any recording when you were? Oh, what's this guy doing? Jesus Christ.
See, if something costs less, then people are happier with it. Sounds like something that the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medishare works too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton. I like it better. That's being happy with how you're taking care of. See what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. President and the
What's going on in Bangladesh? Dissolve the parliament.
Student protest leaders have already talked with Yunus, who has consented to take over. Islam adds the student protesters will announce more names for the government, and it would be a difficult challenge, he says, for the current.
Basically, Islam just took over in Bangladesh.
Public employees in Australia's most populous state, New South Wales, have been told to end remote working in a direct.
I can't see all the chats, guys. It's fucking Prism doesn't want to show me all the chats.
Becomes a nominee for the vice presidency. That's right. Kamala Harris is planning to do a rally in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, coming up later today, 5 o'clock, and that will be the big reveal. So you've either got Walsh-Mentum or you've got Shapiro.
Oh, they haven't decided.
One of the two. likely to be her.
I thought they just said they announced it.
Who knows? Joe Biden may have another term in him to run for the vice presidency. Maybe Harris Biden, and maybe he'll
there you go, Harris Biden.
I am Brett Woodable. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. Daily, you hear me.
They'll still win.
Over at WBT Radio in Charlotte, North Carolina, where
I got my poll worker class in a few weeks.
The storm that is coming.
Work that poll.
East Coast.
I think it'd be kind of cool.
I'm sitting in on such a big day.
I did the primaries and I wasn't going to do the main because it was a long ass fucking day, but I want to do it anyway just for the hell of it.
Here's the thing that I want to start with, and I want to invite you to be a part of the conversation at 866-95-PATRIOT.
And I don't want to be in one of my close polling places by my house because that's all red anyway. I want to see the differences.
Here's what we have, and I want to try to pull people back from the ledge. All of the reporting that has gone on since Joe Biden had a coup executed against him, right? It was the Obama-Pelosi coup to throw him out of the presidency. We haven't seen him in a month of Sundays now. Joe Biden's just not a factor anymore, so what we essentially have is Kamala Harris is acting as sort of the boss. Joe Biden's been seen a couple of times. Doesn't make any sense. When he's
I'm gonna learn how to pole dance. Oh, 2 L's.
And it was all because of Nancy Pelosi and of course Barack Obama.
Basically, I'm just going to be an observer
I'm getting a sense
for the election.
There are people who are dreading and who are worried about this election. And I'm here to tell you something. This is going to be a tough election. It's going to be a challenging election. You have the entire world media. You have a certifiable, unqualified candidate running for office in the United States for the presidency of the United States. And the media is going to tell you that she's the greatest thing since the coming of Christ. I mean, and I'm sorry, but that's really what we have. And, you know, I'm old enough to remember the television show Curb Your Enthusiasm, and of course Seinfeld, the show about nothing. This is the candidacy about nothing. The only thing Kamala Harris is running to be is the president of Planned Parenthood.
Y'all, I'll probably go on and do another little scanner one, and it's super busy this time of year, guys. I don't know if you guys remember last year doing, even up in Monroe it was busy, but it's gonna be super busy today. So I apologize that I can't pay a ton of. I'll probably stay on YouTube for about an hour this time before I switch over to the green screen. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Peace, love, later.